Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome, everybody. So I'm so glad to be here with you. Yes, here we again for another amazing episode, right? Another exciting chapter, Spiritual Rockstar Podcast Show. And I'm just so grateful for all of you tuning in today. Got an amazing guest today, Cheryl Stelte, and she's going to rock your world. She is a very magical, mystical, and practical, mistress of the divine that magnetizes your clients together with you. It's in cooperation with the energies, the attractive energies that live within you in all life that want to bring you blessings of new clients and new opportunities to serve and share with your gifts. And I believe you'll feel the energies during this time together. So tune in and listen to a very practical wisdom along the way, very nuts and bolts, I'm sure, as well at the same time. And we're getting ready to blast off in just 1 second. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate, Make Money meditation today. All right. So, Cheryl, so glad to have you here today.
Oh, Daniel, I am absolutely honored. I am thrilled. This is such a treat to be here with you. Thank you.
Yes, it's so wonderful to have you. We just meeting you and just knowing your magic and energy you bring it is an honor to have you on the show. So let's share about Cheryl. Now, Cheryl has been a spiritual entrepreneur for over 2 decades, is the best-selling author of not one, but 2 books, and the latest being Client Magnet, the Coach's Guide to Attract Ideal Clients Through Spiritual Awareness. She's the founder and CEO of Star of Divine Light Institute and Azarias Online Energy Healing. In addition to her psychic abilities, Cheryl holds diplomas and certifications in multiple energy healing modalities, spiritual leadership, coaching, mentoring, retreat guiding, shamanism, acupressure, meditation, and instinctive feng shui. She is sought after for her ability to help others break through barriers where nothing else has worked. So, Cheryl, my goodness, what is it about you? There's something magical about you now. We're on to you. What's happening over there?
Oh, something magical. I think magic really comes out when we heal and become empowered. We can't just become empowered, or we can, but we may end up with it not looking the way we would have imagined, or we actually don't find happiness and the joy and freedom that we really want. And so my own journey has, I got onto a spiritual path for healing. That's what got me going. And started with being depressed. I was depressed, and it was actually a moment in time when my deceased brother came to give me a message to start meditating through another person who had never channeled before. We were on the beach doing kinesiology, and he showed up. And so I listened to his guidance, never had a spiritual experience before. And I started meditating, and that's what got me going in a spiritual direction. And so it's almost 30 years, and I have never looked back.
Wow. Yeah. Like you just really just like, wow, this is for me, is what it sounds like. Like, whoa, yeah, this is it. Oh, that's what it sounds like. So that's great that it's so strong in your spirit that you didn't have to come kicking and screaming like some people do, at least, right? So that's a real blessing. And so what do you think the magic is to that? I mean, we could say, well, you're, for whatever reason, you're even more receptive than maybe the average person to going down that path. Well, what do you think that is? Why do you think it was so much easier for you than some people where they go kicking and screaming down this path of getting spiritually connected, letting their lives be more joyful, blissful, easier, all those sorts of things? What do you think it was for you that made the difference?
It's such a great question. At that time in my life, I had left my abusive alcoholic husband. I was a single mother with two kids, and I seriously wanted change. And it was like my heart really opened at that point in my life. A part of me just knew there was so much more, there had to be. And after I left him, I felt one emotion every single day when I woke up, and that was relief. I just felt relief. Relief, relief, relief that I wasn't living that way anymore. And then I suddenly realized, wow, the world is my oyster. What do I want? What do I want to create? And I realized that that 13-year marriage, we were together almost 16 years, really took its toll on me. And I take my part, I try and be responsible. We got married very young. It was one of those, uh, I just got married very young, and then we decided to have kids later on, and that whole thing. But I was committed to change. And I didn't want to feel depressed. I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling. So it was just a vehicle. I had recently gone on antidepressants and didn't like them. I didn't like how I felt on them. In some ways I felt better, but in other ways I felt worse. And so that allowed me to get off the antidepressants. And I noticed if I didn't meditate every single day, if I stopped for a while, then I started to not feel as well. So I thought, okay. And then I just started exploring different modalities. I eventually got into shamanism. I mean, you read the lit, like constant training and always looking for healing. But I really started to discover that empowerment plays a big role, and not just empowerment. I'm very much about soul purpose, but also empowerment in relationships to get what we really want. I remember when I first got together with my current husband and we were having an argument, and it was just a stupid argument, and I said to him, if we're going to be together, this isn't what I want. I want emotional intimacy. I want you to be able to tell me how you're feeling, and I want to tell you how I'm feeling. And I want that kind of intimacy. So let's not do this. Are you on the same page as me? And he said, yes. And to me, that was such a powerful moment. I was empowered to say, this is what's important to me. This is what I value, and this is what I want.
Yeah, wow. Wow. And I mean, that's so critical to whatever it is that we're wanting to see in our lives. I mean, a lot of times, like, sort of, in a fun way here, bridging the business, it's like we have the idea, like, well, what do I need to do in order to get what I want? Like, that's our conditioning we have, right? What do I need to do in order to make it happen? Because it's usually not a good thing, right? It's like, oh boy, I got to make this thing happen. I'm going to have to do marketing and sales, and I'm probably going to have to feel like I'm almost lying. And, even though, like I'm of integrity and I would never lie, or, then I won't have to, then I just won't share, I won't have any clients. I'll be in total integrity. So how can we, like I always talk about, how can we be really spiritual and enjoy lots of money and success? Because most people see a conflict rather than like it goes together. So how can we really, really spiritual, like you? So you got into the spiritual thing, you did all these things to learn about healing, etc., like all these different things you did. And then at some point you must have said, oh, I could help people, and I could have paying clients and all that stuff. And then you brought it together, a business and clients and all this stuff. Tell us about that journey, and how did you navigate through what most people experience anyway, is a sense of, oh, there's a disconnect here, between the sense of being spiritual and charging people for my gifts and helping them.
Right, right. Yes, I understand completely. And so over the years, early on, I think it started, I would get together with a group of friends. I offered them, hey, would you like me to lead meditations for us? Let's do this every 2 weeks. So we would meet every 2 weeks on Monday nights. And they were my friends. So of course, I did not charge them. And then I did that for some time. And then I would meet people and they would want to learn things I did some shamanism training for free, and that's sort of how it started. And then I started to charge. I had a friend that really encouraged me. You know, you really have a lot of skill here and talent, and so I started charging, but it was very part-time. And then I developed. I went back to school and studied interior design, and I started a spiritual interior design business. So I would do readings for people, and I would do some shamanism, and I would do some healing and empowerment, different things for the right clients. So I was able to charge through that business, and that felt great. And then it was later on, I went back to school again years later and studied fashion design, and some of my classmates wanted to learn how to meditate, and so I taught them, and I really felt deeply that I really needed to be doing a whole lot more of this, because it was so fulfilling to watch them change. And the type of meditation I do is not, I don't do mindfulness. I don't do just to feel more peaceful. No, it's very dynamic. It's all about healing and empowerment. That's my thing. Healing and empowerment, and living your soul's purpose, you know, really fulfilling your mission. And so I started charging, and I remember my first class when I started charging. At that time, I had three people sign up, and two showed up. One never came. And then the other one, her father passed and she dropped out. So I had one client, one paying client. And I thought, that's more than zero. It's more than zero. So I kept going, and it built very quickly. Because it was like when I was younger and I was depressed, I just wanted change. I knew what I wanted. And so I would breathe into that, into my being, and this sense of knowing. And then I received the guidance. You know, I would do retreats for myself. And I remember on a 1 week meditation retreat for myself in my own home, I was guided that this was my life's mission, you know, to be a spiritual teacher, or whatever phrase you want to use. And I couldn't handle it. I was like, not good enough comes up, you know, it's all those unworthiness and all that stuff. But I was able to eventually move beyond that and step into this work full time. And it's really, it's not just me feeling into that. So I have, you know, I have three different programs. It's also the pull of the future keeps me going, that I have this knowingness. And it's also the pull of the people that need me that really keeps me going. And it's through being who we truly are that we spiritually evolve more than anything else. It's when we, if that makes sense, it's doing the work, you know, once we get there.
Right, right. So basically, like, just to kind of summarize what I heard anyway, a little bit, is you let it happen, you know, step by step. You started and you had an abundance mindset, you know, like that was a key. Like, well, one is more than zero. Like, you'd say, I only have one. Of course, this isn't going to work now. I only have one. Like a lot of people end up in that kind of mindset, right? So, you know, instead you were abundant mindset, and then you also integrated in things that might be a little more traditional in people's minds, like even though it's with the spiritual bend and everything, but oh, we're doing interior design. Okay, that's a practicality, right? It's got a practical aspect to it. And then, you know, things just keep developing from there, is what it sounds like. So, you know, it's kind of happened step by step. And then I know you told me, I remember that you telling me this, is once you went full bore, as we say, or fully into it, then you went to six figures like right away in your business, because you were so aligned, is what it seems like. I mean, what do you think allowed you to go to six figures right away?
I think that's absolutely it. I was fully aligned, and I accepted what I meant to do. I accepted the support of God in the universe. To me, it's the work that I do, and I think the work that you do, it's really opening up to the universe working through me. It's allowing God to have that energy flow through me in whatever way is unique to me. And so it's been very much a journey. For a lot of it, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have the plan. I don't follow the traditional model of, starting your business and then all the social media. So I have never, ever, I still haven't received a client through social media, but I'm told I need to do social media. So I am, but it's like, I allow myself to feel into what I am and what I'm all about and why my soul is here, and just really let that radiate. And that's what my client magnet book is about. It's healing what's getting in the way, clearing the blocks. I just met with an amazing coach. I do this every day. I met with this amazing coach, and she wants to do more healing and less of another type of work. And
Mhm.
so I said, okay, let's see what's holding you back. And here are the early childhood wounds, this programming that we're able to shift immediately, and then whoosh, the energy starts to flow.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Starts opening it up, right? Yeah, totally. All of a sudden, the energy is just like, nah, it's not going to happen. I couldn't do that, or doesn't feel right. I'm not safe. Nobody loves me, or whatever. All the different little voices in there. It's like all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, we can have that. Like along those lines, right? I mean, that's how I notice it when energy shifts in people. Like all of a sudden, it's like, there's a little that lean in that starts to happen, and what I love is, yeah, similar to some of the ways I work with my clients. Like it sounds like, yeah, you're like you don't have a cookie cutter model, that you must do this, you must do that. This is how we get the results. It's more of what are you radiating? What energy are you in? Are you connected? Or some people say, are you in your power? However you look at it, but are you radiating the quality of being that you actually are, and just being who you are then from that place, what it sounds like to me, and then allowing the inspired action maybe to happen from there. Is it sort of like that? Is that kind of how you teach people, or
Yes, to a certain extent, the inspired
huh?
action is important. And to
Uh-huh.
me, what really makes a big difference, and I had met this woman. I started working with coaches who had maybe got something going and then weren't having any clients. I had one woman didn't have a client for 6 months, another woman a year and a half. Started working with them, and within a very short period of time, they had groups formed and they're back in business. And so, what was it? I do chakra readings, so I see where their strengths are. So everybody has strengths. I see what got them into the business they're in the first place, why
Hmm.
they're doing the work they're doing, and what their strengths are. And then I'm able to see where the blocks are, which chakra, what it's about, and help them clear that. And then it's just like magic. Then it's very quickly things can start to shift for people. And then it's not even so much about, it is the inspired action, but it starts to happen naturally. I remember the one woman who didn't have a client for 6 months. She prayed a lot, and I could see this energy. I said, do you pray a lot? Oh yes, I'm a Christian. And I was like, wow, she had all this energy radiating off the top of her heart chakra up kind of like at a 45-degree angle. So I was able to advise her on how to use that to benefit herself more, to really step into her power and be who she truly is. And she did that. And then she was in a group for a couple years, and she spoke at that group. And then there was one woman just reached out to her. I heard you speaking. I just want to work with you. How do I sign up to be your client? And then she would do something else, and all the social media she was trying to do wasn't working. But people started to come in other ways because she was able to move beyond these energetic blocks, the subconscious beliefs, the stuck subconscious emotions that remain in us if we weren't able to feel them often as children. And yeah, and then she just turned things around, and she had, I think, I don't know, 5 or 6 people in like 6 weeks of
Wow.
working in.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Yeah, I mean, did you become that client magnet? They find you even out of the woodwork, right? So they start showing up because the energy resonates with it, and then those people, it just finds a way, right? So it just finds a way to come to you in part. So, but yeah, I think you're saying it's that, and it's the inspired action, and I always say too, it's the plans that we make, but they're the ones that come to you usually at first, at least, like in a very, very simple kind of way. Like here, this is your strategy. You know, like you get this strategy idea may come in, but it's from your intuition, it's from that connected space. And you know, so if you're going to do a big launch or something, you know, I don't know about big launches personally, but I never, I've done certain kind of big launches in a way, but in my own way, but it comes in a way that is, yeah, again, it's inspired action. It's an inspired plan rather than, okay, let's get it in my head. How do I grow my business? You know, kind of thing. Anyway, that's what I've seen. Like, if people aren't excited, if they're not feeling the lift in it, no matter what marketing strategy is taught, then it's just not going to work.
That's exactly it. It's exactly it, and it's what are you radiating? And so we can, and I know you love to lead meditations. You're amazing at doing that sort of thing and helping people get into that, like you say, that connected space. It's and how can that help us fulfill the reason we're here, and how can that help us fulfill all our dreams? And there's also the part of allowing it, of surrendering to that, to knowing we're not the only one doing this. And that's where I think, you talk about the inspired, allow it to come to you. And
Yes.
even, through the client magnet program, it's we do have to put some energy out there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
We need the inspired action, but it's being open to receive.
right,
I have a psychiatrist that refers people to me regularly. And all I do the odd healing session for her, or I give her meditation. She's been my client, and so this is how the universe is found this avenue. Here, we'll send you some clients this way, and then there's
right,
another method, and somehow
right.
when you write a couple books, they get out there, people find my book and contact me.
Right, right. Start stacking all these different ways, and you know what seems to be difficult at first, you know, really becomes easy. I mean, I think about it like with some of the things I've done when I actually had a whole group certification structure that people would come in would bring other people in, right? And then you have your partners and this and that, the other thing, all these things stack up, and it's like, yeah, that's where it becomes easy to manifest the you know, whatever it is that you want, you know, whether it's six figures, multi six figures, or whatever, whatever, you know, whatever figures. But it's because of the connected energy, you know, there's connected energy there. And now again, I always caution people, there are people that are miserable at manifesting these bigger businesses. So that, you know, but what we're talking about is the joyful path here, connect the joyful path. You can connect energy to make it happen, but you'll be financially bankrupt and spiritually bankrupt in the end, usually is what I see anyway. Because you're just working through, you're trying to work through your stuff really when it's created that way. And that's, so it's good, it's all good, but it's like, it's with a lot of pain.
And it's not like, I mean, if you read my client magnet book, you'll see it's when the pain comes up. We're still going to have pain. Like what I
Yeah,
always say to my clients, whenever we take a giant step forward in our lives, in our businesses, whatever it is, whatever stopped us from doing that before will come up,
right,
because we're always being challenged to grow, and it's
right.
our wounds that challenge us. And so
Yes,
here is one more thing to heal. And the beautiful thing is, it just gets easier and easier over the years. But
yeah,
to recognize the pain, if we're feeling off, it's because we are off. And how do we get ourselves back into alignment? And so to me,
right,
that's the healing and empowerment piece. So we can keep
right,
growing.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's why we have to, why they say live out of the comfort zone and all that. There's a lot of truth to that, because you're gonna hit the pain spots, the discomfort, the I don't want to, this doesn't make sense. You know, bring me back to my comfort zone. Again and again. I mean, it happens for me. I have an area, you know, where it's happening for me now that I get coaching and help with, and but yet I'm fine with it because I know it's part of the process. Okay, it's all going to get connected up, that thing that I'm working on right now. Okay, it's just a process. It's working itself out. I think at some point you start to realize, oh, there's another one, like, right? It's like this dramatic boulder, you could never get past kind of thing that gets in our minds, with certain things, especially as we get started in business, like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? Well, you build up that muscle in a way, like, of recognizing, like, this is just how it works, and to hopefully increasingly embrace the process. I do know people that have success initially. This is something I want to ask you about. I know there's some people I've heard that have had success. I had one person tell me she made 6 figures in 2 months just starting a business. But after that, like nothing, like very, very little. Now, she's not working with me currently, but she was exploring it at the time with me. And I've seen this sort of pattern with other people. I don't know if it's helpful to the listeners, but while I had you here, I thought I'd ask you as an expert if I have my own theories about it, but what do you think, what do you think that's about when people initially have success and all of a sudden then it goes, wah, 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 disappears. What do you think that's about?
Yeah, it's the next layer, a deeper layer of their wounding coming up that's
Yeah.
blocking. So we are on, if you think of it, we're on the life path, but it's our soul's journey, right?
Mhm.
So we're born into this world with the parents we have, and we're presented with all sorts of challenges. And if we treat them as challenges and opportunities for growth, we will keep growing. And there is some pain that goes along with that. But the joy, even ecstasy that comes out of that, you can't buy that. You
Yeah.
can't buy the kind of joy when you really are in alignment with who you are and why you're here. And so it's part of that process. And I had that happen to me last November. I made by far, I made more money than I'd ever made in a month. So I had a set point of X
Mhm.
that was comfortable, but I went beyond that. And I didn't even celebrate that month. I just kind of shut down. And I had to look at that later. I'm like, you did really well. You didn't even total this up. You didn't even look at the numbers. And so what came up for me again was the unworthiness. Am I really worthy of this? And it's in the subconscious, and that's what makes it hard to recognize. So all
Yeah.
of a sudden, we're not making any more money. And
Mhm.
so I felt that. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm sabotaging myself here. What is
Mhm.
going on? And then I was able to look deeply and see what that is, and start to heal myself. But the challenges in some ways become so much easier, and in other ways they become greater because we've never faced it in this way before. It's
Right.
brand new. So we feel the success that
Mhm.
we've never had.
Right.
Whatever stopped us from having that success before will come up. So we never, to me, we never stop doing the work. And I think that's one of the things that you talk about is
Mhm.
we keep going. We need to evolve. If we stop growing, um, it's not, it's really almost like death. So if sales fall off, business falls apart after huge success, it's just our next challenge, and to welcome it.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I have to learn here? And
Mhm.
how can I grow? And how can I be even in more alignment, in better alignment than I even was before?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, what blessings are wanting to come through this? How much better can it get than this? Like, in part. And yeah, it does. I can remember some of the big months that I've had through the years. And then I'm like, one of the theories I have about it too, on top of what you're saying, like I think both things are true, is when you're not thinking about what's happening and you're in the flow and it's just unfolding. And then all of a sudden you're like, because I've seen it in sports too, but I've seen it in business as well. Like also you start thinking, oh my God, I was that good. I don't know if I'm that good. Right? So it's like what you're saying, but in a different way. But if we were just to continue not to even be of the idea, am I good enough or not good enough? You know, I believe what you find in that often, although the subconscious may still be there, but like we can transcend the subconscious to a degree and level, maybe entirely, by just staying present to just what wants to happen now, but yeah, the pesky subconscious programming does seem to creep up on us. So we have that to work through to deepen our presence for sure. So Cheryl, I know it's sounding pretty clear to me how you help people in terms of helping identify, like, I'm sure you help them with all the things they need, but at a deeper level than maybe what they normally do. But like, well, what am I supposed to be doing, and who am I supposed to help, and all that sort of stuff. So how do you address such questions? I know you got all the psychic gifts, so it sounds like you probably do it in some different way than me, but similar to me.
Similar but different, right? And we're all unique and special in
Yeah.
our own way. And so it's through the chakra readings that I offer people. And when I'm working with them, I get intuitive hits and that sort of thing. But it's really through the chakra readings I'm able to help people uh, see themselves. I'm really reflecting back to them so much that they already know, that most
Okay.
people just say, "Wow, that was bang on." That's what I get, and
Right.
they really get it. And really, we're meant to help people. It's people who have the same challenges that we've been able to overcome. That's basically what it boils down to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, somebody who grew up feeling like they didn't matter at all, like they just really didn't matter, even as a small child, part of their work is to help people who feel the same way, to help them overcome that. So it's through that. But it's also seeing, I can see how energy flows in people and what's natural. I just, when was it, last week or early this week, I met with this coach, and her solar plexus was so radiant. This woman knows beyond the shadow of a doubt that she is one powerful woman. And she works as a coach, and and this is, so much of it is just innate in her. She is just that way, really beautiful, striking. But she has this fear in her root chakra that she's been able to overcome up until now, but now she can't do what she wants to do. She's really stuck. She's really held back, and it's frustrating as anything for her. And she has and so it's through this process of addressing that and healing and empower her that will then inspire her to help others in an even more unique way, because she's understanding herself better. So she knows what that energy feels like, what it's all about. And it's quite unique. It's a very rare combination to have someone feel so powerful and like she's really in tune with her power, her
Yeah.
personal power, her divine power within her. And the fear is so big, she is just 100% blocked. It's a very unusual
Mm.
combination. So it's, yeah, it's sort of, every person is unique. And so I'm able to help them navigate, help them navigate to find their own answers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. So I'm just curious, do you work with people on a one-to-one basis, or do you work with groups, or both? Or I'm just curious how you do that.
both right now. I In my client magnet program, that's a group program, and I love that work. And it feels like in that program, and you don't even have to be a coach or an entrepreneur. If you just want to really manifest something and you haven't been able to, it can even be applied to relationships if someone wants to meet their soulmate and that sort of thing. So it's in the group sharing. That's a lot. There's a lot that goes on there. And then I do group energy healing at the end of each class is 2 hours. And then I do a little bit of one-on-one with that group. And then
Mhm.
I also teach my own online Azarias energy healing program. And that's group. I love that. That's my longest program. And I really help healers, or people who think they're healers, or people that have done all kinds of training, become the healers they're meant to be. And I encourage people to develop their own methods, because we are all unique. And what I love about that program, I'm very much about empowerment. And in all the trainings I've done in various healing modalities, you get your certificate or your diploma, whatever it is, and then you're supposed to go and hang a shingle, and you have to find clients. So what I do for my practitioners is I find clients for them for their practicum, And so as part of the program at the end of the retreat, I have volunteers so they can practice on others and get that going. And so my success rate of people actually practicing is really quite good. And right now, so those people who are become Azarias energy healers, the long-term plan is to uh, open up for them to help people go through my first program, which is my Shining Throat Chakras program. And so that is a series of meditations. Everything involves meditation. And so those people right now coming into the throat chakra program, I work one-on-one. It's very intense and I focus primarily on them. And then some of those people go into other group programs later on, but it's one-on-one. And then what I'm planning on doing is using the Azarias energy healers to work with those people. So I'll sort of hand that off and I'll supervise. So it's, as we grow, it's how can I be of better service? And so that's part of it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of different wonderful ways to interact and for people to be able to activate their soul power and their gifts and be able to gain new clients, doing what they've come here to do. And yeah, that's so beautiful. I mean, that's so great. Now I know you have the book, Client Magnet, and then you also have a free gift for people you were going to share today around magnetizing clients, right? So
Yes. And
about that.
so what I would love to do would be to offer people a free chakra reading, because what that does is like I said, it helps them help. I can let them know where their strengths are and where their blocks are, and also what they can do about it. And so I've given you the link there. They can just click on that, and they'll be able to pick a time.
Okay, outstanding, outstanding. And then we have another link there for them as well, right? For the client magnet. Mm-hmm.
For the Client Magnet book. So that book you can get, I think it's 7 or 8, I think 8 chapters on my website for free, but this is the full book, the full version, which is like a workbook. And so there are meditations in there for people to practice and helps them get through all the different steps of really becoming the client magnet they're meant to be.
Yes, yes. Okay, great, great. Well, it's beyond amazing. Everything you have to share and the way you work with people is right up my alley as far as what I'm about. So I didn't even know how many alignments we had until we did this interview today. I mean, so that's really incredible. And one of the things I like to do is to give some messages to my clients as we're starting to wrap up. As someone that energy scans and is also trained gazillions of people on tuning in as well. Would you like me to tune in for briefly into your energy and just see, I don't know, what's coming through?
I would love that, Daniel. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's see what messages want to come through today. So they're showing me your hands. They're talking about the Palladian's energy, and it's like the sense of transmuting this, maybe more of this Palladian's energy. So again, I just share what comes through. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just share what comes through. So I'm just seeing that connection. And for you too, I get getting the dolphin's energy coming through. So yeah, so you have that natural, that's why you have such natural gifts. You are so attuned to just having those natural gifts, telepathy, all those sorts of things. And so my sense is again, like, we're never done, and that you have even more gifts that you're still like practicing with and harnessing and deepening with is what the message is along those lines, without getting too deep into it. Okay, let's see what else comes through today. Book number 3. Okay, let's see. Oh wow. I don't know. I'm just here what comes through. I get there might be more cosmic than that one, something more like with energy healing or Palladians or something like that. I don't know. Palladians is the first word I got on the book. So I don't know what that'll be about for sure, but that's what came through. That's going to be a big hit. Okay, let's see what else is coming through. Yeah. Okay. 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 So as you're deepening, sometimes there may be a pressure that boils up still. Some of those core wounds you were talking about before referencing, but like it's a sense of like almost like your head wants to explode or something, like just and it's just like there's still pressure. It's like pressure that your vessel is open so much, and yet there's this pressure that's still trying to come through. And so I see it like coming up to the top of the head. Let's see if there's anything more helpful I can say about it though. Yeah, I mean, really anchoring your starseed energy seems to be a part of that dance. Like it seems to be a settling in at a deeper level with who you are. That's going to help release some of that pressure in part. So those are some quick things. Again, I just share like three-ish things usually that come through. Little reminders, little things that come through. Cheryl, any thoughts or comments on what came through?
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna I'm gonna meditate on the Palladian energy, especially
Yeah,
in my hands. I get a sense of that. But the dolphins, that speaks so because I am truly opening up to just having more fun.
yeah,
It's really that's the message the universe keeps giving me lately. And
yeah.
book number 3 will be more cosmic. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And I think I'm about a year and a half out from that one, if that were to manifest and come true. And the pressure, thank you, because I feel it here in my forehead. I
Yes.
do get a sense of that.
Mhm.
And I just don't pay much attention to it because it's not a big deal, and everything is a message.
Right.
And so I think, yeah, settling into my star seed and everything makes perfect sense and more of who I am.
Yeah, yeah. I'm grateful to share with you today, Cheryl. I'm just so grateful for you being on the show and everything. And if people want to check me out, by the way, go to yoursacredpurpose.com. You get your free make money meditation there, and people are soaking that one in. People love it, and so opens up your energies, your chakras, activates energy inside you, so that the yummy things that are wanting to come in, you also like, whoa, there it is, like you perceive it, right? So it's really awesome, and then you get your guidance and all that good stuff, and then there are, for now, may change in the near future, but I still have an opportunity for you guys to apply to meet with me if you want to, for me to do some energy scanning to help you be a spiritual rock star. You already are, but to actualize that in the 6, 7, 8-figure business or whatever it is that you want to do, and support you with that energetically and with copywriting and business skills that I have in so many different ways that I can help people. So because hey, when we're channels, like, hey, it's kind of like, okay, what do you need? Here's the medicine. We got it. So check all that out, yoursacredpurpose.com. And Cheryl, I'll give you the last word. Any last words for today before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to say that you're really doing something magnificent in the world here with your spiritual rockstar podcast. Like I said, I'm super honored to be here with you and to spend this time. And I am eternally grateful. Thank you ever so much. And to everybody out there, thank you for the opportunity for sharing Daniel with you, to be a part of this tribe. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. And for everyone listening, thank you for your love, your heart, and keep on tuning in. And we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. So next time, everyone, goodbye for now. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best.
As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.